Are you superstitious? Are you an example or a warning? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. Day 666 of just documenting my business journey as I transition from the offline brick and mortar world to the online world of business. And 666, it's really interesting. It's a fun number because my first job out of college, I went to Procter & Gamble. And Procter & Gamble had this reputation, and I believe it started actually from their competition, that they had 13 stars on their symbol, and they had a moon and things, and therefore it had to do something with witchcraft, and they started all these rumors. And I go to Procter & Gamble to work, and I'd done research on the company. I'd heard some of the stories and stuff. And of course, my employee number is 666, which was the butt of a whole lot of jokes because, 666 is supposedly a demonic or a witch or a devil type number. And so I got teased a lot in that job. I was there 5 years, and it was just fun, but it was interesting because we actually studied the history of where those rumors came from as part of the, as an employee of the company. And so it was fun to learn about that, but it's so ironic or hilarious that my employee number just happened to be 666. They had, enough employees that they had started recycling and reusing employee numbers again. So I don't know who the original 666 was, but I was the next one. And so I asked myself if I was superstitious, and I guess overall I'm not. I'm not really particularly superstitious. I don't necessarily believe in luck, not good luck anyway. So then I guess if I don't believe in good luck, I don't believe in bad luck either. I believe things happen to us, they happen to us for a reason, and we just have to figure them out. And that led me to thinking this morning about, am I an example of how I want to impact the people around me and other people in the world? Or am I a warning? Am I a cautionary tale of what not to do? I guess in some aspects we are all an example in some ways and a warning in others. I'm probably a warning in how not to be married or stay in a monogamous relationship. I am probably a warning in terms of not leading a balanced life, or not being a workaholic. I guess I don't know how to describe that, but how to not lead a balanced life. I definitely focus too much on certain aspects of my life. So that's probably more of a warning in that aspect. I'm definitely a warning with respect to not taking care of yourself and not putting your health first. Not so much anymore, but I was definitely a warning back when I had a sudden cardiac arrest. So there's ways in which we're all a warning and that we're all an example. I like to think I am an example of how to roll with life's challenges, how to deal with life challenges, and to turn them into opportunities for my kids, for those I'm around, for those I work with. I like to think I'm an example in other ways, which I will leave up to other people to decide or not. I show up online in my pajamas every day, not to be a warning, although to some people I'm probably a warning, my family hates it, but to other people, I want to be an example. I want to be an example of showing you that you can just be yourself and show up in the world as whoever you are. And some people will love you, some people will hate you, and there's not a whole lot that matters in the middle, because you have to be happy, you have to be who you are anyway. So I like to believe that I'm an example of being yourself, and that me being myself gives other people, you especially, permission to be yourself as well. So my question for you today is, are you an example in the ways that you want to be an example for the people in the world around you, or are you being more of a warning? Like yesterday something happened that I heard about, and I wondered, geez, is there something, and isn't it interesting that we go to that, we immediately question, is there something I did to impact that result or that particular situation? A lot of times it has nothing to do with us, but we always go there and we're like, well, geez, is that somehow my fault? Should I have done something? Should I have called somebody? Should I have been involved with this? Should I, and why do we do that? We should all over ourselves when it's just ridiculous, because we do what we're supposed to do. What happens for a reason. We make the choices, we make the decisions in any given moment because we believe at the time that is in our best interest. That is the best response given all the circumstances, all the information we have right now. Now, 5 minutes down the road, we might find out that was the worst response, but we didn't know that 5 minutes ago, and we can't change the response that we had. So I challenge you, just like I challenge myself, every day from this point forward to be predominantly an example of what I want to see in the world. Be an example of what you want to see in the world. Be kind to one another. Be kind to people. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Act in the way that you want other people to act toward you. Respond to outside forces and influences and things that happen around you in the way that you want other people to respond as well. That's how you be an example. But most of all, just be yourself, because being yourself is the best example that you can give to anyone. Being yourself and loving yourself and showing up in the world as who you uniquely are allows everybody else on the planet the opportunity to do that as well. And then don't judge other people for who they are, because you don't want them to judge you for who you are. That's it. Today, BP challenge, day 60, already 2/3 of the way through the challenge. Talking about the next thing, and the next thing is just a bunch of little basic things that are critical and important to move toward the goal and objective of the 90-day push, but that don't warrant a whole 10 days of their own. So it's just kind of 2/3 of the way. It's a way to take a breather, step back, and say, okay, where are we? How far have we come? And here's key critical things that are important that we want to hit on and do, but we don't want to spend 10 days on it. For example, water. Consuming water is critical for absolutely every human being and every living creature on the planet for the most part. We need water. We need water every day. And the vast majority of us do not drink or get enough water. Before my sudden cardiac arrest, I drank pretty much no water. I drank a lot of coffee. I drank a lot of diet soda. I drank no water. And that proved deadly for me. And most people, most diseases, just for our bodies to function on a daily basis, we need to consume water, decent water that will help sustain life of our cells and life of our bodies. So I can talk about water for a day, day and a half, but I can't talk about water for 10 days. It's way overkill. So the basics, we'll be covering the basics in that today. The first one is water. Just, hey, how much are you drinking? Water, actually, it's a water day. Actually, that's pretty funny. Water over the dam or water under the bridge was my Supersize Your Business talk today. So that's interesting. I guess it's all about water today, and I didn't even notice until I started summarizing it here. So water under the bridge, water over the dam. The past is the past. There's nothing that we can actually do to change past events. We can change our behavior moving forward. We can change how we respond to the way we reacted in the past right now. But reliving the past, living in the past, it's not going to do anybody any good, especially you and me. It's not going to do us any good. So there's no point in living in the past. Big discussion on that today, both on my Facebook page and then in my Facebook group, Supersize Business. Because I don't know about you, but there are events and triggers of things that will happen that send me beelining back to an event in the past that I maybe didn't love, and it's an instant reminder. And so my challenge for myself today and my challenge for you is, how do we take those triggers, and instead of having negative triggers, we find positive triggers that remind us of memories and great things that happened in our past, and we relive those all the time instead of all the mistakes we've made or the things that we said or the way that we judge ourselves. What if we were to do that? What kind of an impact would that have on our life or how we feel about our life? I suspect it's going to make me feel a whole lot better than reliving that time I got fired by my jerk boss, or reliving the time I had to go to court because one of my business partners got us into some legal hot water. I don't like reliving those things. There's things that trigger them, and then I just get that sinking feeling in my stomach, and I'm like, oh my God, why am I thinking about that? Or something will happen with one of the kids, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad for them. And what if we could just trigger all of our positive memories and all the things that make us feel awesome? That's what I'm going to start working on. At least between now and the holidays, I'm going to try to do that and see if that doesn't have a more positive impact on my attitude and my outlook, my beliefs and my feelings and my thoughts. Because if I change those things, my entire world changes. That is about it. Got some work with a group I'm doing on. We're doing an event. We're doing a webinar with an event with one group, a webinar with another group. And a couple of others I'm not going to talk about because they're making me crazy. Which means what? Working with the wrong group. Working with the wrong people. And do I still do that? Do I still make mistakes and end up once in a great while, working with people that are not perfect for me, absolutely, but it happens less and less often now because I'm a lot better about listening to my gut about who should I work with, who should I not work with, how can I help them, and will they actually follow through and do what they know they need to do to get the success they want. You know, we all do that. We all sometimes are our own worst enemies. And in that, I know I am a warning. I'm a warning for people around me to not be super hard on yourself, not be super critical, not always be looking for what you're doing wrong. Always be looking for what you're doing right, because we always do a lot more right things than we do wrong. We just build up the wrong things or the mistakes in our lives, and that will negatively impact us if we're not careful. So that's all I've got. If I can help you in any way, hit me up. It is a Saturday in my world, and so I am going to turn off my camera, put on my exercise clothes, and go for a nice walk down to what's called the dike in the town that I live in. There's a little half bridge that goes across the river, and I have not been there for weeks because I've been traveling and a lot of other things have been coming up, and so I am taking some time for me and going for a walk today because I want to be an example these days of how to take care of yourself and get some physical exercise and movement, eat right, take care of yourself, instead of being a warning, because I've done a lot of decades being the warning, so now I want to be a more positive example in my life and in the lives of those people that are around me. So have an absolutely amazing day. Again, if I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I will report back tomorrow what's up, what I'm working on, what's working well, what's not working so well, and what I'm learning from that, lessons learned. Have an amazing day. Take care. Bye. See you tomorrow.